Liberty Elementary School District Governing Board meeting is called to order May 27th, 2025. The time is 4:30 p.m. Members present in person are Board Member Schmidt, Vice President Kenyon, myself, Michael Todd. Joining us remotely tonight will be Board Member Zimmerman, Board Member Srencioni, and Dr. Mahorn. Members, the next item of the agenda is item 1.2, Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Schmidt, can you please lead us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our next item of business is 1.3, approval of the special meeting agenda.
I make a motion to approve this agenda consistent with board policy BEDB and temporarily suspend governing board policy with which this agenda may be inconsistent.
I second.
Okay, I have a motion by Board Member Kenyon, a second by Board Member Schmidt. If there's no discussion, I'll call the vote. Board Member Schmidt.
Aye.
Board Member Zimmerman.
Aye.
Vice President Kenyon.
Aye.
Board Member Srencioni.
Aye.
I'm also an aye. Will show that approved. 5 yes, 0 no. Our next item is item 2.1. This is pursuant to ARS 38431.03 A3 and 4. Call for an executive session for legal advice from attorneys for the public body concerning the employment of Dr. Court Monroe and to instruct attorneys for the public body about its position on contracts that are subject of negotiations or as to the terms of settlement of possible litigation regarding Dr. Court Monroe's employment. Take a motion in a second.
Mr. President, I make a motion pursuant to ARS 38-431.03A3 and 4, call for an executive session for legal advice from attorneys for the public body concerning the employment of Dr. Court Monroe and to instruct attorneys for the public body about its position on contracts that are the subject of the negotiations or as to the terms of settlement of possible litigation regarding Dr. Court Monroe's employment.
Okay, do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, the motion and the second for the executive session for ARS 38431. This will be agenda item 2.1. With the motion and the second, if there's no discussion, we'll take a vote. Board Member Schmidt.
Aye.
Board Member Zimmerman.
Aye.
Vice President Kenyon.
Aye.
Board Member Srencioni.
Aye.
I'm also an aye. Will show us an executive session at 4:32 p.m. with a 5 yes, 0 no vote. Board members, you'll need to log out of this meeting and log into the executive session meeting. Okay, the time is now 5:28. We'll show the Liberty Elementary School Governing Board back into general session. We will move forward now with item 2. That's 2.2. We'll move to item 2.3, direction of the board's attorney to take action as instructed by the governing board.
Mr. President, I make a motion to authorize legal counsel to negotiate settlement agreement as directed in executive session and give President Todd the authority to sign an agreement on behalf of the board.
Okay, do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, I have a motion by Board Member Kenyon. A motion by Vice President Kenyon, a second by Board Member Schmidt. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll go to the vote. Ms. Schmidt,
Aye.
Ms. Zimmerman,
Nay, and I'd like to explain my vote.
you may do so at the end. Vice President Kenyon,
Aye.
Board Member Francione,
I'm sorry, did you call me?
I did. I'm asking for your vote.
Aye.
Okay, I'm also an aye. We will show that approved 4 yes, 1 no. Ms. Zimmerman, please proceed.
I am not in agreement with the terms that were directed to legal counsel in executive session.
Okay, we'll move to item 2.4, which will be approval to pay hourly staff to attend ALICE training. And Dr. Mahorn.
Yes, I would good evening. I would just like to have permission or board's permission to pay. On June 2nd, we are having the Arizona Department of Education is providing free ALICE training to all of our admin staff. And they also asked and they wanted their office managers and their secretaries and their health assistants who also assist up front. And for safety, they wanted them to be able to join for this ALICE training. The office managers are all on contract that June 2nd. The people who would not be on contract on June 2nd would be the secretaries and any of the health aides that so choose to attend. And so I would just ask for the board's permission to pay any of those people who would choose to attend. Of course, this is not mandatory for people who are not on contract, but just for safety's sake, we would like to invite them to also be able to participate in this free training on that day. It's Monday, June 2nd.
Okay, and for those who are unaware, ALICE training is our safety training that the police departments utilize if there's a serious incident at a school shooting, hostage situations, anything significant that requires a law enforcement response, for most likely a larger response. I don't believe that our district has attended this training in maybe forever. It's certainly hasn't been in any recent times. So that's, but because these people are off contract, we need to give board permission to pay them for that day.
Mr. President, may I have the floor?
You may.
Dr. Mahorn, is this pay in hours or is this flat, kind of like a stipend?
It would be paid for their hourly pay. It's a 5-hour training. And so we would pay them, of course, before we wouldn't just pay for their start. So they would arrive about 15 minutes early and then about 15 minutes afterwards just for the wrap up as well. But it's a 5-hour start to finish training as well.
Thank you for that. And I am very much in favor of any of our staff wanting to be more brushed up on the ALICE training. I like ALICE. I know that there's other programs, even speaking with Buckeye Police Department, they're taking ALICE and kind of modifying it a little bit for their campuses. And so I think it'd be good in the future to reach out to them and see what they're doing. But as many staff members we can get on the same page so there's not a bunch of chaos. There's always going to be some chaos, but not as much if everybody's on the same page. I'm very much in favor of this. So thank you.
Mr. President,
Yes, ma'am.
After the training, after the just, the people that are attending the training, are they going to be giving the training themselves then to the rest of the staff, or is it just meant for people that are up front?
We are focusing, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I didn't want to interrupt. We are focusing on the people who are up front. Just because an active shooter, it's most likely going to be those people who are up front, and oftentimes they're left out. Most times, our principals get trained, but how often are our principals up front right there when that happens, and our office staff is left out? So we just want to make sure that they're included as much as possible. Of course, we're not forcing them to, but we want to make sure that if they choose to come, that we are compensating them for their time, if they choose to.
Sure, absolutely. Have you calculated the approximate, budget consideration to pay these additional people to come?
Not exactly, because it's different for different people, but the most people that it would be at max, and that's if every single person said, yes, I will come. We already know a few people that said no for one reason or the other, obligations, that they just wouldn't do it. It would be 20 at the absolute max. I'm guessing that at most we may have 10, unfortunately, but even if it's 10, even if it's one, we want to offer it. We'd like to offer it to everyone that would like to engage, because we just don't want to leave anyone out of that training.
But have you calculated the budget cost of it for those people?
We have not yet.
Okay.
We wouldn't know until we know who is going to come, because it'd be different, because different hourly people make different money. So we'd have to know who is coming.
Okay.
Mr. President, if I may, just
You may.
in regards to the cost, I don't know what everybody's salary is, but just looking at, just doing some rough figures, if 10 people show up, that's probably going to be between $1,000 to $1,500 for 10 people, is my thought, just guesstimating. So it's not like we're going into the tens of thousands of dollars for this training.
Like I said, everyone else except for these people are already on contract, so it's a non-issue. It's just these two small groups that aren't, but we did not want to leave them out, and wanted to offer them the opportunity to engage as well.
Right, so just for clarification, there's a lot more people coming. It's just these folks that were
Right.
not on contract aren't currently coming unless we can pay them. But we'll have more than just the front office people coming to the training.
Right. Everyone else is already on contract, so it's not an issue. These people just are not on contract for that day.
Okay, any more questions? All right, I'll take a motion.
I motion to approve the paying of approximately 20 hourly staff to attend ALICE training on June 2nd, 2025.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to pay up to 20 people their hourly pay to attend the ALICE training on June 2nd, correct?
It is.
Yep, June 2nd. Okay. If there's no further discussion, we could take a vote. Board Member Schmidt,
Aye.
Board Member Zimmerman,
Aye.
Vice President Kenyon,
Aye.
Board Member Cincioni.
Aye.
I'm also an aye. I will show that approved 5 yes, 0 no. Next item is item 2.5, job description, Director of School Improvement, Dr. Mahorn.
Governing board, this was one of the job descriptions that was tabled at a previous board meeting, and administration was given the task to go back and just do some research on that exact title, and if that title was in other districts, if there were similar titles in other districts. And in looking in other districts, some districts do not have a title or a position similar to that. There are districts, I did find at least one that did have that exact title. Looking around, the most common job title for a title or for a job that was similar to this was Director of School Improvement. And so what you will see in front of you today is the Director of School Improvement. So a proposal renaming for that position that was previously the Executive Director of School Effectiveness. So that's what you will see, the proposal before you. After doing research, there are districts that don't have anything similar. There are districts that do have Director of School Improvement. That is the most common title that matches with what that job description is that you see before you. So if there are questions, I'm open to questions as well.
Just a question, the districts that do have a position like this, I believe you told me most of them are larger than ours, correct?
That is correct, yes.
So very,
That most of them are.
okay. That's what I had always assumed and felt from my research. Okay. All right,
Mr. President, I have a question.
Zimmerman, go ahead.
So when I see the job description, does this include the duties that, were added to it originally when we dissolved the educational services coordinator? Remember how we dissolved that position and we kind of reassigned?
Correct, yes.
So essentially, it is the job description that was brought before the board. We're just
It is. Correct,
Okay.
yes.
And so then if the position or the change of the title is approved tonight, would then you then post for this position?
Correct. That's, yes, if it's approved tonight, then the plan is to post.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes,
And we'd post tomorrow this to get hiring going?
correct. That's our hope. We would like to.
Okay, that's great. No, I just like to get it posted and get somebody hired that's qualified for the job. All right, if there's no more discussions, we can take a motion.
I motion to approve the Director of School Improvement job description.
I'll second.
I have a motion, a second, to approve item 2.5, the job description for the Director of School Improvement. If there's no discussion, we'll go for a vote. Board Member Schmidt,
Aye.
Board Member Zimmerman,
Aye.
Vice President Kenyon,
Aye.
Mr. Board Member Cirencioni.
Aye.
I'm also, I will show that approved 5 yes, 0 no. All right, next up, item 3.1, board comments on agenda topics and items for future consideration. We have everything that's already been requested. We're working for getting as much as possible on the next general meeting, and some updates via staff superintendent update emails to the board. Is there anything else that you would like? All right, hearing none. Upcoming meetings. We have the Saturday, June 7th meeting, special board meeting. That'll be reviewing Trust Policy Chapter 5. And then we also have a meeting for Tuesday, June 10th, a regular governing board meeting. There's no questions on that. We'll move to item 5.1. That's the adjournment of the special meeting. Having all business completed, we'll show the meeting adjourned at 5:42 p.m.